sometimes you just do it to yourself. Okay, sometimes you just do. Now, what a weird way to open a film about the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, especially given the fact that the Home Run Derby is tonight. But here's the deal. This entire effort by the city of Seattle to clean up this entire area around the stadium, to me, is actually hilarious, given all the homeless and given all the crap that the city of Seattle is covered with, it being a leftist asshole. But the mere fact that the homeless are putting out these flyers and are threatening to, let's just say, destroy the game, destroy the atmosphere around the game, I got to tell you right now, you did this crap to yourselves. What's up, guys? John Claymore here, and I know that I said in my previous video that we're going to be 3 videos today. That's not going to be the case. Some things have came up, and it's going to cost me a little bit of time recording video 3. Just going to go ahead and throw that out there. But that video will be out tomorrow. It's about the situation involving the doctor's office and the, let's just say that it's going to be a pretty juicy one, so make sure you guys stick around for that. So, Major League Baseball for a while has been, at least in my estimate, and according to a lot of the numbers, they've been suffering for a while under Rob Manfred. If you guys remember back in 2021, the Major League Baseball moved the All-Star Game out of Atlanta due to political reasons because of some laws that some people, let's just say that some people on the left did not like, even though they ended up costing the city a lot of jobs, which is really weird that they would do that, especially given the fact that you keep on saying that you want to uplift people of color and help them out, because a lot of those jobs would have gone to people of color. So what did they do? They moved the All-Star Game to Denver, Colorado, an area that is actually much, much more white rather than Atlanta, Georgia, which I still to this day think is absolutely hilarious, because my Braves would end up winning the World Series despite these crazy loans. Of course, Joe Biden is the one who actually mentioned that maybe baseball shouldn't move the All-Star Game. But of course, I'm pretty sure you guys remember that incident. I have to remind people all the time that we won the World Series in spite of other people. Yeah, I want to be annoying for a day. Sue me. But this right to me is absolutely hilarious, especially given the fact that Major League Baseball for a long time has been trying to downsize their programming. As a matter of fact, you can barely watch a ball game until the postseason, because they've chosen to move most of the games to Fox Sports 1 and now to the MLB app. And, of course, now there's also the Bally Sports app. You basically got to go to Apple TV to even watch a game or watch a game consistently. Yes, I know it's a sport that, quite frankly, is going down in popularity, and some people have argued that the game is better nowadays. I personally think that the players is what's making the game successful so far, but for the time being, I'll digress. Then you get this situation right around the Major League Baseball All-Star Game in the city of Seattle. I really think that Major League Baseball should really consider not holding their games in places like Seattle, in places like, say, LA, San Francisco, places where there are a lot of homeless there that, quite frankly, could, in fact, ruin the area. There's been this effort in the city of Seattle to clean up the area around the ballpark. Here's a nice little snippet.
All-Star Weekend. It's a bit like hosting your family for the holidays. Quick, everyone clean up. Let's make this place look presentable.
Well, it's funny you say that, because that's how I describe it. You know, when you have people over, right? I don't normally dust, actually, right? But
yeah, I just need a roller.
We're getting our beautiful home ready, and we're building community and civic pride in Seattle and getting ready for the All-Star Week. Yeah, I mean, we had, Mariners CEO John Stanton was here.
And while we do this today, I would encourage you all to have fun, because that's a part of the mission and organization that we believe in.
So we are in and around neighborhood CID, Soto, Pioneer Square, Waterfront. We've got over 400 people coming, going shoulder to shoulder and cleaning up, removing out graffiti, picking up litter, and really just building civic pride, because we love our city, we love our Mariners. We love that, we have such an opportunity to bring the All-Star Game here to Seattle. So it's just really a meaningful opportunity.
Pride, baseball, all the money that could be made. Pride in one's community, which, by the way, is very weird, because the other 364 days of the year, the city of Seattle, Washington doesn't really care about that. Maybe that's the real reason why the homeless are so upset, because they see people suddenly acting like they care. And the homeless, of course, they don't really care about the city. They don't really care about the community. They just care about the area of which, by the way, that they're going to go to defecate at. Not a whole lot of pride in their actual city. But then again, though, when leaders run a place like Seattle the way they do, you're probably going to have that type of attitude. I mean, monkey see, monkey do. If you govern a certain way, people are not going to have much respect for what it is that you're governing. But obviously the homeless, they don't want this area cleaned up. They want to continue to live in their own fecal matter and urine. I mean, it's just the way these people are. I am a little bit curious, though, how it is that they were able to get these flyers, seeing how it is that the homeless typically don't have any money. It makes me almost wonder if somebody's not been passing out leaflets, is not controlling this entire thing. Maybe it could be Antifa. I really truly don't know. I mean, Seattle does have a history of a Chaz Chop protest in which they take over city square blocks and crap like that. So at this point in time, nothing really surprises me. Which brings me to the news report that you're about to see here.
All-Star Game at T-Mobile Park, but some leaders in the community say the neighborhoods around the stadium are not ready. So today, volunteers work to clean up some of the graffiti and trash around the ballpark.
Yeah, Fox 14 News reporter AJ Janova live outside the Ems field, and the question, AJ, is this effort going to be enough?
Hannah, according to some local business leaders, the short answer is no. I spoke to one longtime Soto business leader who tells me there is a lot that needs to happen in these neighborhoods from much more than just volunteers.
Excitement is in the air in Seattle. All-Star Baseball returns for the first time in 2 decades, and hundreds line up to get the stadium ready for the big game.
I'm out here because I love this city, and I want to be a part of making it look good.
For hours Friday morning, volunteers like Diane Sweeney work to pick up trash and cover up graffiti. It's a community effort for their city. But is it enough?
It's pretty bad on the Soto streets right now.
Erin Goodman also took part in the cleanup Friday, but she's spent a little more time than a few hours on this neighborhood. For 9 years, Goodman has worked as the executive director of the Soto Business Improvement Area. She tells me the businesses and groups she represents in this neighborhood are excited. The tens of thousands of people expected to flock to the area for the game. But she says this neighborhood is not ready.
Property crime, vehicle crime, it's homelessness and encampments and the public waste from there. I mean, I could take out a speech that I gave in 2015 and give it again today. Same streets, same issues.
For Goodman, one of the big problem areas is near 3rd Avenue South, right by the ballpark. And while Friday's cleanup took a step forward, Goodman says volunteers can only do so much.
I'm going to tell you the truth. We're not there yet. It's getting better. We had nothing move, nothing cleaned up. The city did nothing for 2.5 years. And so while we have seen significant progress under this administration, there's just a lot that didn't get done that we need to attend to.
Reached out to the mayor's office to see what they are doing in preparations for All-Star Weekend. What they tell me is the city throughout the entire year is working on cleanup for graffiti as well as tents and encampments. They say encampments and tents are actually down, but they do say there will not be any special sort of work in preparation for that game. And Hannah Bryan, one more thing to note. Goodman says if you are planning on coming to the game or your family or friends are planning to come down, don't drive your car. Take the link, take public transportation. She has concerns for car prowls, something to be aware of.
It's an issue that the city of Seattle should have had fixed a long time ago, especially with the homeless. But as a matter of fact, when anybody tells me that they want to move to California or Oregon or Washington State, they normally always have this tendency to say something very stupid like, well, I really and truly don't like the homeless. I want to leave here because of the homeless problem, which, by the way, I think is hilarious because you're trading in a small homeless problem for a much, much larger homeless problem moving out there. Amazing how stupid, how ignorant some people can be. But as I said before, you guys can obviously see that there are certain precautions that they're taking. Now, driving to the game, for example, I'm going to use this one right here. Don't you think it's possible that maybe the homeless could kind of screw things up by going to the parking lot and, I don't know, maybe pissing on cars, fecal matter all over the place, just the type of stuff that the homeless population does when they get upset. It's almost like you got to spray these people with tinactin or something to keep them away. As a matter of fact, I think if you wanted to remake the Last of Us series, you probably could have done it based off the homeless itself because, quite frankly, they are walking cordyceps at this moment in time, mostly due to the extremely piss-poor policies of liberal crap-hole cities. Which brings me to my final point. If Major League Baseball wants to consider, I don't know, helping out poor communities, helping out people of color or whatnot, maybe you shouldn't play politics. You see, the reason why I brought up 2021, I brought up Atlanta, is because the city of Atlanta, Georgia, has got a pretty big black population. You want to help these people out, give them jobs. All-Star Game. It's a great weekend for people to make a quick buck. People do a little side job, make a little bit of extra money, so maybe they can take a vacation or maybe invest it somewhere else or invest it in their own business. It's a great way to get exposure, especially for small businesses, especially for small black businesses. Or maybe in the state of Texas where you've got an extremely large Hispanic population, or maybe the state of Arizona where you have the exact same thing. By the way, Chase Field is an indoor stadium. By the way, Globe Life Field in Texas is an indoor stadium. Also, you've got Houston, Minute Maid Park. You've got a lot of places that, quite frankly, you can hold the All-Star Game at where, by the way, the communities are not as white. Seattle, Washington is a pretty white town, so to me it almost feels like you social justice warriors are not exactly being woke, if you ask me. They did the exact same thing in 2001 when they moved the All-Star Game to Denver, Colorado. The hypocrisy of that entire thing was the amount of people in that city that are of color was very minuscule compared to what the people of color representation was in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. The same thing in the city like, say, Tampa, which, by the way, the Rays, as many people already know, they are a franchise that has got a very good team this year, but yet, for whatever reason, they can't seem to draw a crowd unless, of course, it's an opposing team's crowd. And next thing you know, you've got a team that can't pay for talent or anything. Maybe if you actually invested some money on it, maybe held the All-Star Game in that area, seeing how Florida's economy has always found a way to thrive due to the tourism, due to the agricultural community, which, by the way, is getting much, much better. Or how about Miami? You know, Sin City, girls everywhere. You know, take a weekend, go watch a ball game. You can go down to ballpark in Miami. Maybe you should put in money there. Maybe a team should move a stadium to, say, Jacksonville, Florida, or maybe Atlanta like you guys originally wanted back in 2021. I mean, the city is still very good. What about, I don't know, what's some other cities that are not absolute crap holes? Hey, why don't you consider Cleveland for that? You know, pretty big minority population. Basically, what I'm saying here is that MLB kind of did it to themselves, and the city of Seattle did this shit to themselves. I probably shouldn't have said the S word, and they'll probably find a way to demonetize this video, but whatever. This is the second video of the day, and I just want to go ahead and kind of get this out here, and obviously a point needs to be made. Fact of the matter is that Major League Baseball did this crap themselves, and now you got yourself a homeless crisis, and hopefully we won't see no headlines in a couple of days, but don't worry, I'll be sticking around for that. Guys, John Claymore here. If you like this content, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. If you feel that I've earned your subscription, please hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notifications bell. I'd love to get you guys comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have got to say about this. Also, share this video with your friends, your family. Share it on Facebook. And I will see you guys later.